Good evening, bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Welcome to the living world of darkness, the Camarilla venue. Tonight's scenes, well, sees a newcomer coming into town. He he has made a very long trip to New York, coming all the way from Europe and from a certain place that we shall not name here because some of you are not in the little pockets of a certain clan. But he has come with probably most of his belonging, with his herd and his retainers. He has come because, well, he kind of miss his janitor, and also that apparently the gentry thought that it was now more than enough of time for him to get back to his sire and learn more about the ways of the Camarilla and the objectives of the Tremere clan. So we find Valerian Flamel having just disembarked. He is sitting on a bench and he is playing with his cell phone, having, well, different habits than some of his kin. He seems to be more intricate with technological device. He has his own way of seeing the rituals, and for pretty good minutes he seems to concentrate himself by listening to some music on the radio, breathing deep and out, concentrating on the powers that his clan is known for. He tries to reach for his master, his creator. He is entering into communication with Victor to inform his sire that his child has arrived.
The other side of that particular communication, you have Victor in the back of a limousine driving away from, well, in his mind, the debacle of the Italian embassy. They made their way, or he made his way inside, yes. But what he found inside, it's something that he did not expect. Having told his ghoul friends to get him a new shoe because the other one was singed off and it still hurts every time he presses his foot down. He suddenly feels something in his mind, not rumbling around like someone using telepathy, but perhaps a small breath of air at the start of a voice as he takes pause. It's been a while since he heard from this particular individual.
Can you hear me, father?
Huh. I wasn't entirely sure it was you, Valerian, my son. It seems you have arrived then. Or are you still on your way?
No, I just arrived. I I just got out of the boat with my retainers and my herd. Mm, This is quite different from Venice.
You mean, well, I know which place you mean. Shall I send some vehicles your way? It's probably best than you having to take a cab in this horrible city. They are so ill-mannered. Nothing like the old country. Although at times you will hear language from the old country from these people, since, well, they speak our language. Although most of them are like Russians. Not a
Mm.
big fan of Russians. They're brutes.
Well, the Russians will always be the Russians. But
Yeah.
yeah, even if some of my herd think it's part of New York charms to get a no, yellow cab. Yeah, I still remember the taxis from Paris. Yeah, yeah, of course, if you can give me a vehicle that can drive me to a place where I can stay.
My child, you are a child. So, but how many people, if my calculations are correct, and you came with the number that we discussed, 3 limousines should be enough
Mm,
to allocate
yes.
it you all. They are on their way now, as Victor in real world, not fantasy mind world, informed his driver to inform the other drivers to now go and pick up uh, his child and his entourage. Okay. Well, first off, there is something that you need to know. As soon as you arrived in New York, and you might have already felt it, there is a presence in the air at the moment. A malicious presence, at least to us, malicious. We are currently unable to gain nourishment from homids, from humans, from the bipeds. However, um, I have procured enough vitae for the entire clan, so you should not have to worry about being low on blood.
So does this mean that this particular entity chose has chosen us as targets in order for us to starve?
I've met this entity, or in a way met her. Her mindset is not necessarily malicious. It's the poisonous words of those who have talked to her and convinced her that we are evil incarnate and that we need to be destroyed. But it is someone who is truly of the faith.
Mm.
And one of the persons speaking ill of us is our cursed enemy.
Lupines? Or are
No,
you talking about the other sect that should not be named?
no, even worse, my child. Our, our clan's enemy.
Ah, I see. So,
One of the Magi.
hmm, is it from the order?
I could not decipher, but I have a nice souvenir from that particular priest as he sort of rubs his foot. He could summon sunlight.
Mm. Well, that is indeed very problematic.
Yes. Thankfully, I was incorporeal at the time. I believe it saved myself.
Mm. Well, I'm glad it saved you. I would have found it very tragic that you would be gone on the day of my arrival.
Yes, that would have been, well, interesting fate if that would have been the case. But no, do not worry about it. We are on it. It's just we're trying to figure out how to fix this problem at the moment.
Mm.
She's being held at an embassy, and going inside an embassy is never easy.
Mm. Shouldn't shouldn't the Nosferatus be dealing with such well,
The Nosferatu are absent in the city. The one I knew and the other one I knew, two of them, have disappeared right around the time that this whole problem of the blood arrows. I fear they might have gone into not hiding but torpor from not
mm,
being able to feed. So the city does not have the Nosferatu presence it needs, and for a long time it also did not have the Tremere presence it needed, which it sorely needed. So
mm.
I'm happy you're here, my child.
Well, I'm happy to be here. It was starting to get a little, well, depressing.
And
All the others.
obviously, your teaching, I understand. It's something we all have to go through. It's a rite of passage, so to speak.
Mm. I know that I still have a lot to learn, but yeah, this whole competition on who can kiss the master's ass the most is starting to get a little bit irritating.
It is a game we all have to play. In time, you'll either figure out how to go, or you just do not mind too much. Those who do not mind too much, they do not rise in the pyramids. But it does not mean that anyone should look down upon those lower in the circles.
Mm. Well, it's always very funny to see the difference even in our own clan on how everyone sees things. It was like I was some kind of alien talking about computers and artificial intelligence when everyone was talking about grimoires.
Well, you know me, I'm also more of an old school kind of guy. And when he says that, you kind of notice that he never used that sort of terminology. Apparently, New York is rubbing off on him.
Well, that is indeed new, father.
Yes, I have been taught the new things. There is a ally, a friend of mine. He calls himself Limey. He is very good in the well slang department.
Mm.
He uses things like uh, Top Cat and such, which are not really things I'm used to using. These terms.
What did he say? Talk cat?
Top Cat, yes. Apparently, a Top Cat is the big cojones, the man in charge.
Okay.
As Victor notices that you're not picking up, he's starting to wonder if this is more a British thing than it is like an actual, you know, new thing. He just goes, perhaps I'm working the wrong vocabulary.
Well, we all have different vocabulary and well description for everything. So as long as long as it suits you and he is not, making fun of you by giving you faux slangs for you to make a faux pas. I
I
guess
do
it's
not
okay.
believe so. No, that would be highly.
Rude.
Annoying if he did.
Mm.
But as soon as the drivers are there and picking you up, you'll be brought to the chantry post haste.
Mm.
Um,
Should I expect you there, or do you still have to follow the trail of this person?
we are taking some time to reconvene and ponder, but looking at the time and seeing it is already past 1, I wonder if it's better to call it a night, so to speak, and figure out a new way to get this person out and or eliminate the threat of the 3 priests.
Mm.
How are your studies going into the technological?
Well, unfortunately for me, my master was too narrow on his way of teaching. He thought, well, it is true that the path of blood is the base of our society,
Of course.
and that one should learn about it to enhance its position in the pyramid. However, uh, well, the only thing that he actually did right in this, in my, in what I wished to achieve, is that he enhanced my senses and my perception.
Mm,
Thought that it would, since I had all those visions, it would be more useful at the time to focus more on my aspects rather than the power of the blood, and that I could always practice more with you and find my own way, as he, well, not so kindly put it.
yes, Carl always was a bit of a very stiff mentor and teacher. He did not really want to bend any of the rules or try to see a more enlightened way. It's always said when there are those of us who do not adapt to the times. I must admit I'm not the quickest. It might be my age, but I do see the merit of being, well, of knowing about technology, about the new devices, and I'm sure that at this chantry we can learn from your expertise. And knowing that you are interested in some other fields, I will work towards it for you, trying to get either someone to mentor or books for you to read and study so you can start learning those things that you require and that perhaps the city can also require, especially in the absence of our uh, more ugly brothers and sisters.
Mm. Well, I've, well, exchange from what I get, exchange with Nosferatu can be quite entertaining in their own ways. But I'm not going to say that I am going to regret their presence. It will actually give me some, well, some place to work without anyone trying to interfere with my business.
Correct.
And,
Well, none of the fellow kindred.
and if you come after hiding or torpor, well, we can share what we know and maybe find a way to find common ground. Uh, What can you tell me, Father, about the city and the prince that I should see to inform
All
him of
right.
his presence?
The city is a hub of sorts of various supernatural entities. You have those of the fallen, the demonic,
Mm,
and you have those of the lupines present. You even have the foul magi,
mm,
even the changeling fae shapeshifters are present in the city. There are a couple of places that you should not go, mainly because if you go there, your safety and your well-being cannot be advised or guaranteed.
mm,
Going to Central Park, not a good idea. The lupines haunt there, and well, what I've been told, they will tear you limb from limb.
mm,
Going to the Bronx, same thing. Not because they are lupines, but the demons or demonic forces there, they do not appreciate our presence.
mm.
I believe there are also a couple of universities that are problematic at best if you go there.
Mhm.
But apart from that, the world is your oyster, this city. Staten Island, however, is still to this day a Sabbath ground. We have not ejected them yet
Mm.
from that particular borough. As to our prince, his name is Johann de Witt. He is a Dutch man from origin, military man as well.
Mm.
He prefers those who take orders, follow orders. Probably your greatest faux pas that you can make in his presence is disagreeing with him.
Mm.
He is, however, a bit of a recluse prince most times.
Mm.
But the chief harpy of the city is a fellow Tremere, so we should be able to get you an audience with the prince post haste. And if nothing else, we can potentially get you an audience with the seneschal, who is a librarian and a very tall, bluish creature with black eyes, who claims to be Clan Bruja.
Uh, uh, should I make an occult roll of that?
You could make an occult roll for that. It's probably going to be a high
Yeah,
difficulty unless
probably
you,
9 minimum.
yeah, probably 9, yeah, to have like an idea what
Even at
might be.
length.
Yeah, but yeah, you can make it.
Yeah, let's see. Is the Kotori syndrome going to happen?
I
Nope.
wonder.
No, no.
All right, so yeah, so no, it doesn't really ring a bell. It
Okay.
does sound weird.
Yeah.
That's probably also why you're mentally going, I want to know what this is because this doesn't sound like a Bruja at
Mm.
all. Also, the fact that Victor says claims to be.
Yes. Should I ignore that particular physical aspect and pretense?
It's probably best to ignore it and not wonder too much about what clan she is really from. Clan Tremere knows,
Mm.
and you will be informed of this soon enough, so that you do not make an accidental faux pas in
Mm.
reveal or
Yes.
trying to reveal that particular.
Well, I wouldn't really see the point of revealing that, but I would rather Not make faux pas.
And also regarding faux pas, there aren't really members of the court that you should, well, that I would vehemently, very ferociously say that you should ignore or avoid. Apart from, there is a Dr. Kaufman who claims to be a Malkavian, but actually is a cative. Do with that as you will.
Mm.
It's not really something that I personally wish to engage with, but I cannot stop you if you do.
Mm.
And then there is a Brua hound who is called Ghost, who is a known anarch, or at least anarch sympathizer.
Mm-hmm.
Do with that information as you wish. You do not have to go out your way to avoid said person, but
Mm.
keeping in mind where allegiances lie might be important.
Mm. Yes, just like in school, there is this kid, and well, if you go into the same table at lunch, everyone is going to whisper things about you. I get the message.
Well, I believe that most of the city is not too concerned with Camarilla politics as we Tremere are in that regard, as they do not seem to worry about the cative or the anarch. But that is beside the point. Hmm.
Well, I can't really say coming from a whole country of anarchs.
Correct. Well, let's see. Is there anything else I need to educate you about right now? Ah, yes. I do not wish you to be upset or anything, but Fern is also in the city.
Would you have told my character about Fern?
Probably at one point in like a
Mm.
letter.
Uh,
She arrived at the city at one point without informing me, and well, I couldn't really leave my child all alone. So she's currently staying with us.
mm. Great. Now I'm going to have to share my room with little sister. Fantastic. I hope
No,
she
of course
doesn't
not.
get my toys.
You have your own room and your own toys. You have a lot more toys to play with, my child. For you are a full blood Tremere and she is, well, adopted.
Mm.
She gets some toys, but you get some really good ones. Don't worry. And
Uh,
yes,
well,
favoritism.
well, if favoritism went the other way, he would have been really pissed.
Yeah, probably.
Uh, well, I guess it could be interesting to have an interaction with Fern. To only know that you have an adopted sister through mail can be quite intriguing when you're overseas.
She is not the brightest bulb like ourselves, but she has a more primal wit to her that at times we can learn from, I feel. It is a side of us that most of us, more sophisticated, ignore.
Mm.
So I would say do not be too harsh on your sister.
Mm.
And But as soon as she has become a neonate, she will have her own domain and will no longer stay at the Chantry. So then you will have all of the toys.
Oh, good, because I wanted to have a giant aquarium.
Fair enough, you can have a giant aquarium.
It was a jest, father.
Ah, well, I'm just saying it could very well happen. We have the personnel to look after it if you are not interested in doing such.
I
As long
already
as you
have.
don't bring home a puppy.
Yeah, I guess my herd is plenty puppy enough.
Correct. Uh, what we would probably do is, for the time being, they can stay
Mm.
at the Chantry as well until they get settled in,
Yes.
and they have their own place to be. Unless, of course, you wish to keep them as servants in house.
Uh, I'll think about that. I still need to prop the societies to work on the U.S. territory in order to gain more income. If I want to give them a place to stay, so I think that for now, until I get everything running smoothly, they should stay. They should stay in an Isle of a Sentry.
Hmm. Well, I could pull some strings from at work, get some of the other union leaders to well, pick up new workers depending on what kind of work they wish to do or you wish them to do.
Mm.
It shouldn't have to be a problem.
Okay, then I'll check. I'll check with them, and we will see what we can do about that.
Of course. Uh, I believe at this point your ride will arrive,
Mm.
we'll say, and you'll, in the real world, see three blacked out limousines
Mm.
arrive and park, and cars open or the door open.
Mm. Uh, at that point, Valerian will rise up and starts to stretch a little bit. Well, after the cars have arrived, I guess that I uh, I will see you soon.
Yes, I do hope so. Depending on whether we are going after or trying to pick up this straggler, that will either be early this night or very late in the night. I'll keep you apprised.
Very well. Have a pleasant night, father.
You too, my child. Get yourself acquainted with this city.
Mm. Oh yes, I have already downloaded the map of the city.
Of course you have.
Ah, and with that, Valerian will turn to his crew and ok, bon, dans les limousines, allez hop, bougez-vous le train. Well, New York, New York. Here I come. Oh, and he's looking at his watch. Well, I guess I could always watch this new episode of Game of Thrones while waiting. And he will just embark into the limousine and go off into the night. And with that, I guess we can call it a scene. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Au revoir.